The most high-profile Trump administration official yet, former Vice President Mike Pence, has now testified under oath before the January 6th grand jury for about 7 hours. Pence's appearance came just hours after a judge rejected Trump's last-minute attempts to block Pence from testifying. It could mark this significant development in the special counsel Jack Smith's investigation. Back with me now is former U.S. Attorney and Deputy Assistant Attorney General Harry Litman with more on this. All right, you're looking at many hours of testimony from the former vice president of the United States, right? Behind closed doors, we know what Pence put out in his book and the interactions preceding and after, of course, the January 6th attack on the Capitol. What do you expect prosecutors learned? What do you expect the grand jury learned?
Well, let's start with the most important point, Yasmin, and that is the fact that it happened. Even if all we get is what was in the book and what we know from the other side of that pivotal and vicious phone call on January 6th, A, that's a lot, but B, it's an emotional highlight to hear the story from the victim, which is who Pence was here, and C, the breathtaking fact that, as you say, is not only the highest so far, the highest imaginable, the vice president of the United States giving testimony against a president in a criminal referral. Then, again, even before the content, the fact that he has him now and the story is solid in the grand jury means he knows what to expect, does Smith, and it won't change in a year, and that would be a big concern for a prosecutor building a case. Then, finally, the content itself. If you look through that book, as well as the accounts of on the other side of that very tumultuous call, you've got some pretty incendiary material that shows, A, Trump knew exactly that he had no legal leg to stand on, and B, he was so desperate that he was at his most savage and vicious with Pence. So even apart from everything else, the testimony we knew already was very important, and getting it down means a lot. And that's without mentioning now probably other stuff. Remember, they had lunch every day in the weeks after the election, just one-on-one. I'll bet there are some more nuggets, but even without them, just the fact of having it and it being the vice president, that's big stuff. And it also augurs that they're coming toward the end of at least one case that they're building out of January 6th.
I want to read you an excerpt of what Pence said in his book about January 6th. And Pence wrote that he was angry when Trump asked him 5 days after the riot whether he was scared, writing this: "You and I had our differences that day, Mr. President, and seeing those people tearing up the Capitol infuriated me. But nowhere in the book did he acknowledge that Biden rightfully won the presidency, right, in 2020. What do you make of that?
Yeah, it's a really good point. And his book, it says some things, but it's couched and tempered and very Pence-like. So a good prosecutor, and you can bet it was a good prosecutor on Friday, won't settle for that. Well, what exactly were the words, Mr. Vice President? When you say you were infuriated, tell us exactly why. Was it your view that, in fact, Biden had rightfully won? All of those things he will be pinned on. That's what took 7 hours. And as I say, even if by chance he gives a wrong and surprising answer, fine. Smith can still work with it, knowing what he has coming when it comes to trial, if Pence is going to say that. But more likely than not, he did some real damage because he had to really face forceful questions rather than just give his own kind of political and cushioned kind of bromides.
While I have you, I got to ask you about this. NBC News has not independently verified this reporting, but the New York Times reporting this, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. Prosecutors, they're trying to determine whether Trump and his aides violated federal wire fraud statutes when they raised as much as $250 million through their Save America PAC by saying they needed the money to fight to reverse election fraud, even though they had been told repeatedly that there was no evidence to back up those fraud claims. What do you make of this new reporting?
It's a whole new area of inquiry, one they only adverted to in January 6th. Zoe Lofgren talked about it. But like all the rest, Jasmine, the conduct is really clear. Of course, He asked for those donations. Of course, he got them. And as a factual matter, they just didn't go to what seems to have been a phony baloney pack of some sort. So it goes again to mental state. Do they have enough to show that he or others were aware of it?
Harry Litman, as always, we thank you, sir.